Hello, Divine Feminine. How are you? I have two new decks on my trip to my sun bath. One is the Oracle of the Unicorns. The other is Twin Flame Ascension. This is a very complicated deck. Do I want to do this now or later? I'm going to do this now. Let's get a signifier for each of you and the energy in between. So we shall, I love this Northern Lights on it. Had a lot of weird feelings as I was getting ready to do this reading. You have past lives. What a beautiful card. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. He has trust. I actually don't see... This is a Pegasus, I guess, not a unicorn. Leap into the unknown, have faith and move forward. Believe and you will fly. Kind of a Fool card. And then leadership, and I was talking about those Northern Lights. Step into your leadership, share your message, inspire and empower others. So maybe both of you talking about your past and your struggles with trust will be an inspiration. We have nature on the bottom of the deck. Ground yourself, find a sanctuary in nature, connect with the elementals. And then I think I'm going to, I've not used this in a very long time. It's a very special deck to me. The Unicorn cards from Diana Cooper. It's a very rare deck and I'm going to use it at the end. Okay. So I have another one of hers that is the Atlantis deck that I haven't used in a long time either. And I think I will, you know, limited edition decks like those, if they become popular, they go for like hundreds and thousands of dollars. It's amazing. I've seen a lot of old and rare decks, which is interesting because they are from Hay House, I believe, but I just don't think that they print them anymore. They say no. 6 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups. Okay. Those cards have been coming out very frequently. You get the feeling that the masculine is thinking about how to approach you, what to say, how to turn the situation. I have constantly been getting that phrase, like twist of fate, turn of fortune, regarding the Wheel of Fortune. So it was a really weird thing. I kept feeling hot and cold, and I couldn't decide if I was cold and I wanted a hot drink, or I was hot and I wanted a cold drink, or I wanted both. And I was like, it was just a really weird thing because I think you know that I channel through my body. Put them like this, but they are in reverse. It's interesting with the sun and the moon there. I feel like a lot is kind of in both of your hands right now. Most especially it's coming through, it's like forgiveness. Forgiveness of all things is in your hands right now. I don't know why do they want me to do it like this today? I've never done it like that before. All right. Interesting. 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 Okay. Okay. Saying a lot depends on what you have to say right now. You should think about what you're going to say long and hard. Like, do not be impetuous with your speech, with your words. Be intentional with your, it's like there's a guiding force around you right now. And I feel a lot of angels very close to you. For some reason, it does feel to me like you're kind of not really picking up what they're putting down. You're not really wanting to connect to that energy. I feel like you're pushing it away a bit. I feel like your mind is on the future. You're kind of thinking, well, yeah. So this is a real Empress card for me. It's very Wheel of Fortune. Something to me feels like you're blocking your blessings. Now, sometimes the cards really get so granular. I don't even see where they're going until I get to the end of it. I just have to like follow each statement as they give it to me. So that's kind of what they're saying to me right now. It's like they're pointing that out, like the way that you channel. You kind of have to have faith and trust that we're leading you down the path you need to go because you don't see the end. And, you know, if you listen to me, you'll know that that's true. I don't concoct some big story, but they always weave it together in the end. And it's kind of like they're doing this addition problem for me. Like, you learned 1, you learned 2, you learned 3, you learned 4. It just doesn't have to be consecutive, but, and then it all equals now, right? Okay, so what did I just say? You're kind of blocking your own blessings, and so is he, but he wants to come back around, and this is going to be a very big deal for you. In fact, if you guys are in communication, because I do see for some of you, you are in communication, that, look at that. I don't know why they had me draw it that way. It wants to bring up an old subject. It's been thinking about this for a long time. Sometimes when we reopen like old cases, I don't know why they're saying it like that, you kind of feel out of control because you don't know it's like it got closed for a reason. That topic got closed for a reason. That memory got closed for a reason. And you're kind of, he's wanting to bring up past stuff that maybe both of you, it led you to a place you felt pretty hurt by, you felt pretty out of control with. For some of you, I feel like he ghosted you. That Emperor in reverse, I feel like he just cut off communication because he had such bad trust issues. Or you just like, one day it was one way, the next day it was another way. And it caused you to kind of go plan your life. Look at that past life energy right there, Atlantean energy. I think he just went silent and you couldn't even really get to him or talk to him at all. Woo! Okay. Heart energy. There's crazy energy right here. Wow. I think you activated like his channeling channels. That's that ace of swords right there. Well, these two cards, there's such intense energy. Such intense channeling energy. I feel in my body there's like a stuck energy. Okay. Here's the thing. There's unfinished business here. It makes you feel both out of control, and I don't think either of you like it. It's made him less rigid, more open to this divine feminine chaos energy. That's the black, right? That's the black in the yin yang symbol. It's made you stronger and more able to withstand, you know, the white energy. And both of you have very strong channels open to spirit. Like, ow. What is this trying to tell me? It's like you don't know which direction to step in to. They're kind of showing me these feet on the ground here. But she's headed to the water. You know, she's got her surfboard and she's headed to the water. And, you know, we see here, it's not specifically saying water messages, but that's the feeling that it's giving me. Messages from Atlantis. The crystal skulls have been very active. And look how similar these cards are in color. It's an unusual color to see in tarot, I'll say that much. I feel like you know something is coming, and it's like kind of like swimming in black water. It's interesting feeling. Both of you are holding on to some past hurt here. You have the Ten of Swords reversed, and he's got the Five of Pentacles. There's this key here, which is always Chiron to me. It's activated right now. It will be very activated on the Aries eclipse. Chiron, the eclipse in Aries, the solar eclipse, and the North Node are all in Aries. There is like fated events coming, destined things coming here that are meant to help you understand It's so interesting. I can't quite get what they're saying yet, but it's coming, don't worry. You know, this patience card is very much like the temperance card to me. And as I told you, I see angels all over the place. Angels bringing you two together. Now look, you couldn't have two more different cards than this. Financial constraints, which is like low self-esteem, and then gold, which is luxury, good fortune, material success, highest value, excellence. To me, money always reflects our self-worth, our value, and there is something here about you guys having to have this conversation, like heart to heart, right? He has two heart cards here. I think you've been waiting for him to tell you something in his heart. I'm gonna get one of these cards. So this Twin Flame Ascension deck, don't worry, there's more coming on what I just said. It's 4 levels of, I'm thinking about doing like a special offer. I might try it out with the readings I have right now and do a special, but they give you, she gives you a pathway to your twin flame journey. I did it with me and I found it very complicated because there's 4 levels of like 10 cards, right? And they're not, when you do that reading, they're not, you know, linear. So you could like have like the highest spiritual, like the last level card lowest, and then the lowest card at the highest. It's very interesting. I'm gonna have to work with it more to understand it exactly. I don't resonate super much with her work, but anyway, I'm gonna get these cards. You get, interesting, because that fits really well, 3-3, increase your frequency, higher conscious awareness. And he gets 2-2, spiritual awakening, shift or be shifted. That makes a lot of sense to me. Remember your identity, you can do it. The chosen one, fast track to ascension. Speak your truth, express yourself. Actually, I got this card in a pretty prominent position when I did it. So I think this makes sense to me that you have a choice here to make regarding accelerated ascension, and if you want to do that. And if you guys want to do that, you're going to choose. This is all by choice. None of this is forced upon you. You're going to choose to really leave all of this low vibrational thinking. You're going to leave it behind. Because I can feel that coming in me, and it makes a lot of sense to me when I see these cards. You kind of remember, if you watched my reading before, we're at the end of a cycle now. We're starting a new cycle, and you either get to choose to increase your frequency or to continue on this path of constraint. So it is uncomfortable to choose a new frequency at first. A lot of the time, they're telling me that the angels are very close right now, especially to the masculine. He needs a lot of help right now for some reason. Let's see if we can find out why. I feel like your job right now is to work in your physical body a lot, detoxing, purging, increasing the vibrational frequencies, also through your thoughts and feelings. But for some reason, there is an emphasis on the physical body. I feel like listening to high-level tones, I can never say this word, solfeggio frequencies, binaural beats, that sort of thing. Anything that you resonate with, like you actually resonate with it. Eating high vibrational foods and just like sound baths, crystal bowls. Huh. This kind of feels to me like you'll have a choice between him and a soulmate. Remember, I always talk about when you two get really close in frequency, like usually a soulmate comes in for you. It's kind of to teach you the next lesson. I don't know. I'm not feeling that at all right now. So I know that does happen. It's happened to me. It usually comes really fast, and then your masculine is like right there too, and you kind of have to choose. And it's usually something really tempting. This is an interesting way to read. I kind of like it. So I do feel like this, for those of you that haven't really broached the subject of twin flame, or the belief that you have that you are twin flames with each other, or he hasn't validated that. Maybe you've said it and he hasn't validated it. I think that's going to be a main topic of conversation he was at all dismissive or talked badly about you or like said anything derogatory, like you're crazy or whatever it is, I think all that's going to be remedied, is the word they're using. And they're using that word particularly because they're using the word malady and they're using the word remedy and they're using this very interesting kind of paradigm around healing. So your masculine has your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So that's for both of you. And you're going to be guided to make the efforts that you need to make with your family. There may be something in your family that causes you a tremendous amount of like eating humble pie. Yeah, that's so interesting. Okay, you got you changed me. I know I treated you badly. I'm too proud to say sorry. I drove by your house. I feel like if there's a family member that did you wrong and you need to forgive them, or vice versa, or both. Oh, I don't like saying this. There's a lot of reward in choosing complete forgiveness and like neutralizing that situation. When I say neutralizing, I mean really neutralizing it, not holding on to it. Like you can free yourself from many, many lifetimes of karma if you do this. And the reward will be in the choice that you make to yourself. Ooh, I'm getting full body chills. Ooh, very strong. Wow. Okay. So if there's something else involved, like property, money, house, inheritance, it could be many, many things. Okay. Whatever it is. This is not to get something. This is for you to transmute like many lifetimes of karma and many blocks all at once. If you choose this path, it will be like, I don't really like being grandiose about things. But they're saying it's basically like an angelically led path. You see, I didn't even really realize that there's an angel on this card too. And you have many angels around you right now. If he chooses the same path he's been on, it will be very, very difficult for him. He has to choose to forgive his parents. Has an angel watching over them here too. And this is the path of the heart-centered unconditional love. It's why he hurt you, basically. And we all know that, you know, but so this crystalline frequency is a very special energy. Let me draw the rest of these cards. Choosing a crystalline frequency is, you know, a path of ascension. It's what I was talking about, like with the crystal bowls, right? Those are crystalline frequencies. They are obviously present in crystals. We are made of crystals and water, and it's just, he has to kind of believe in a path that's bigger than what he can see at the current moment. So when you two come together, a lot's going to be said that's been hidden from you. I think you've probably imagined having these conversations a lot of times. Both of you feel quite, as I said in the beginning, hesitant to open up to this for different reasons. In fear that you may be hurt again, he may betray you again, there may be there's a lot of reasons. You could have potential loss here. But this, I'm surprised we haven't had, I think we had one, but in the beginning, the Six of Pentacles fell out. I'm surprised we haven't had more kind of balance come out here. Because this is something that is mutually exclusive. Like, yes, you are the leader. That's my belief. Some twin flame people believe differently. I believe that so it's codependent if you wait for someone else to like validate your choice or to choose with you. You need to make this choice by yourself. And you are the one that goes first. And then he follows you. I'm not getting a lot more. I get a lot of dragon energy, like a lot of it. What is this doing here? For some reason, they don't want a lot of message cards. Let's draw main cards. I think there's going to be, so this card over here says I write texts and delete them. It's both more comfortable and less comfortable because he still has some kind of fear of rejection here. He doesn't really want it written in stone. You and your loved ones are safe. It's time to take action. Surrender to the divine. Well, there it is. A new romantic cycle begins. So we have the balance here. It's a very important card. And then luck is on your side. I do feel very, very strongly that there's a lot of Wheel of Fortune energy here. Does that mean everything will go your way? No, but I do think there's new opportunities. So this whole time, they've kind of been highlighting these two cards for me. Especially playful. We've been getting this energy for a while. You will be assisted if you are making your inner child happy. I get that right now very strongly. Doing things that seem simple, but that would make your inner child happy are going to unlock a lot of this energy for you. All right, I'll write these. There is an emphasis on this word safe and what exactly it means. I was reading a thread about an astrologer was talking about, if we choose a karmic relationship, we choose to stay like in something safe and not to grow. And the person was kind of arguing with her that that sounded like a good thing. And it's kind of like two different viewpoints, right? Like safety in terms of trauma and safety in terms of growth are two different things. And there's post-traumatic stress disorder, and there's also post-traumatic growth disorder, or opportunity, I think. And it means like what happens to you can change you for the worse, or it can change you for the better. And it kind of is up to you and the way that you process it and the way that you choose to see it. And if you do any processing of the trauma, like a trauma is something you're not prepared for, I don't think you're going to be prepared for this, what's happening here, because we have the Tower and Judgment. And so there's something pretty big gonna happen. Interesting. Oh, I took out 3, but Paradise and Twin Flames and Dragonfly. I do think that's about the masculine talking about understanding twin flames. He may not fully accept it yet. He may, look at date. He may have questions. He may be hesitant about it, but he does know that being with you feels really good. I think throughout any kind of separation that you had, there was a lot of different scenarios that went on. If he was actively dating or with someone else, I think that he was doing a lot of avoidant tendency behaviors, meaning running from actual intimacy. And it's interesting because we have this unsure future here. He didn't really want to plan, and I see you desiring to plan up here, and it's kind of a significant card in this reading. Part of what's coming up is that he does things to throw people kind of off balance on purpose. And it's like that feeling of being, I don't know how to put it exactly. It's like if you burn the bridge, you can't cross back over that bridge. And if you're the one that's hurting someone else, you're not being hurt, right? And there's all these kind of things that hurt people do, usually without even realizing they're doing it. But, you know, I feel like has really made it, either he really did try to walk away or he tried to make it look like he walked away. And I do get the sense that you felt this really strong connection and he treated it really badly. Now, should we put up with that kind of treatment? Absolutely not. As I always talk about, this is a journey to unconditional love, while we have to have boundaries along the way, right? Because that's up to you. You're going to have to determine your own boundaries along the way. Because this journey is about being triggered and finding all of those wounds and healing them. I do feel that this time has really come to, again, we have the Tower and our friend the Coffee Cup with the date card. And I feel like this is kind of again, a turning point moment, a moment where he has to decide is he going to go through another cycle with someone that is similar enough to you to be like a substitute, a karmic substitute, and go through it all again and be safe? Or is he going to actually ask you out to talk or have a conversation with you about the real things that are on his heart? And so this card says, be lighthearted again. So playful again, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. You may find out some new things. Yin yang, that's weird though, right? Because I talked about that. Zen, balance, again. Union, duality, coupling, complement each other. This one says happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. So what's been coming to me personally for quite a while now is I'm very turned off when I see teachers really focusing on union. I just do not believe that you should focus on union. That's my personal feeling about this matter. In fact, at one point, I really thought that was the point of this whole journey. And now I really, really believe it's about you, focusing on you. And that union's kind of a byproduct of you coming into balance in yourself. But I don't have everything figured out. So, obviously you should always follow your own intuition, and when things resonate with you, take them, and when they don't. And that process of becoming sensitive in resonance is continuously upgrading in us if we honor it, okay? So now I'm going to move on to getting advice. I like these moon cards. I really like the messages that they brought out, especially around safety and choosing how we have to choose between kind of, you know, that's a psychological paradigm. We all need certain levels of safety and certain levels of adventure in our life. What was under that? Believe in the impossible, blue moon. Okay, so let us draw. What was I going to draw these? Let's see what the unicorn cards have to say about where we are. Let me take that out. What we're thinking about, what's going to happen. These cards aren't really suited for what I'm doing right here, but we'll see what we can get out of them. So, like I said, you have angels around you, very, very strong. Use sort of truth to help the world. Archangel Michael. He has choices, as we've been talking about. There is another way. Ask your unicorn to help you find it. So that's a beautiful card. And it very much looks like the man in the Nine of Swords with the head bandage on, walking through a portal with a angel unicorn. And together you have laughter. So a beautiful, playful card. Laughter attracts unicorns and your inner child. And then and what's to come is Mother Mary. Mother Mary and the unicorns are blessing you. So very much Wheel of Fortune energy. On the bottom is rainbow. There's a rainbow beyond the clouds. So you may be facing challenges, or you may have faced challenges. And I get the feeling that there is a lot of hope here. Did I get? No, I did not. Let's get animal cards. And what's coming, and a lot of Ascended Master energy. Like I said, there's some faded things going on. I personally, in an eclipse portal, I am very conservative with my energy, with my words, with my deeds. I try to be very intentional and very thoughtful about what I'm doing. because everything is just more potent. So you're coming up as Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. He's coming up as Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. Oh, we haven't seen Seahorse in a while, watch and wait. And then another magical card and the Healing Snake on the bottom of the deck. So between you is Seahorse Spirit, watch and wait, 53 and 52. And then we have 169. Magic works through you here. So very magical energies. I find it interesting that the Seahorse is faced towards the Divine Feminine. I feel like he may be watching you and waiting for you to like sign something. We have Rhiannon, Sorceress. He has Damara, Guiding Children. We have Yemaya, Golden Opportunity, and then Coventina, Purification. Bottom of the deck is Sedna, Infinite Supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. So you are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. This is what I'm talking about, being very intentional with your energy and what you focus on. And I really feel like that letting go and forgiving process, especially around Easter, because we have the Judgment card here. You know, that's all to do with Judgment Day and all of that, is an important portal, an important eclipse time for you to choose. Yes, you are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. In between is important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. And then here it is time for a cleansing detoxification of your body and mind. And I talked about that. I do think having a period of detoxification with your body right now will be very beneficial. You have Dark Blue Galactic Dragon. He has Aquamarine Dragon from Neptune. In between is Emerald Dragon, oh, my favorite dragon. And then in between is Air Dragon. Helps you rise above earthly matters. So I do think you guys are being called to rise above earthly matters. A little while ago we had that big picture animal card, and I feel like that's important still, is for you not to get too caught up in the tiny details of things, but how important is your life? How much do you value your life energy? Are you going to put it towards keeping grudges alive? Or are you, right now it's a very, very important time to plant new seeds of intention. And if you have this old ugly plant that you've planted, right, that went awry and caused, it's the product of bad interaction with someone, and you're keeping it alive by tending to it, it might be time to think about forgiving that and letting that go and putting a new plant that's better for you, that's better for your future, that's more aligned to a higher frequency that you want to be on. So helps you listen to the voice of the universe, ignites the codes of your master blueprint, access cosmic wisdom for a higher service. He has, this is has the key in his hand again with the trident, both very important. Enables you to access your deepest soul's wisdom. Spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. This is the most beneficial dragon in terms of wealth. Brings healing and cosmic abundance. Good fortune is coming. Let your thoughts support your divine perfection. Align with your fifth dimensional blueprint. And then here we have Golden, Silver, Violet, Flame Dragon. Transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. It is time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. So let's get some crystals. Ascended Masters, and then we'll get messages and be done. I hope this has helped you guys. It feels like a very positive message to me, but I realized that there is some interesting energies here for sure. It definitely feels to me like it's calling us to step into like our biggest person energy. You have Opal Joy. He has Soulmate Peace. And together you have Ruby Shine and Divine Temple Source Master Teacher with Manifestation, Libyan Tektite Gold. It's beautiful energies right there. Choosing joy and peace over other things so your energy can kind of shine through. It's lovely. That's beautiful. Lord Shiva and Radha. Okay. You have Hope, Love and Acceptance. He has Sanat Kumara, Light Activation, Lady Nada, Mezzalcheck, and on the bottom of the deck is Joan of Arc with the Holy Spirit. So you have Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. Love it. He has Light Activation. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. Between you is Lady Nada. Awaken. Heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance of divine love. Give and receive in balance. And then higher learning, you have learned from experience. More inner study is required to further progress. So it may be a little bit of time right now to go inward, especially if, oh God, if you feel triggered by anyone or anything, is to figure out what that trigger is coming from and do a little shadow work around about why is this really bothering me. So yes, this is what I'm feeling. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is available to you. Follow it with faith. He is manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. We have twin flames. Your passion ignites. And then don't make decisions based on guilt or what you think you should do. For it's only being true to yourself that you can be true to others. We have Only Time Will Tell, Friendship, and Secret Admirer. And I find that very beautiful. The Heart Awakening with the Twin Flames. We got the Twin Flames card twice out today. Yeah, I really, really would guide you. Let me see if they'll give me a book or something. Spirit, is there any resources that you can give for anyone who wants to kind of follow the path of least resistance and go through choosing joy and forgiveness? Is there anything you can guide me to? I'm not getting anything, but give it a second and it might come through. They're just giving me all sorts of sayings. What are you saying? Okay, so for those of you that want a manifestation, okay, they're giving me a quote from the Bible. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So for any of you that are devotional Christian, you may choose to consult the Bible. Obviously, you don't need me to tell you that. And there may be some passages that will help give you some guidance right now, especially regarding following your heart. The other thing is that quote in particular plays a big role in James Allen's book, As a Man Thinketh. And I don't think I've read that entire book and it's like at once. Like, I've read parts of it for sure. I've had teachers that definitely loved that book and used it a lot. So if any of you are drawn to it, it's an older book. And I think probably even you might be able to find, like, on YouTube, someone reading it. Definitely on Audible. And that might help you. Some of you may want to do shadow work. I have the shadow work journal. I find it's helpful. I'm not going to say it's like complete, but I definitely think it's a good place to start. If you actually get into doing it, it really can help you. I can only do a bit of shadow work at a time because it's so intense, and I generally do it with someone else. And then I need a week or so to integrate and process all that it stirred up. I also can use EMDR therapy. I know this is very controversial. I do it a particular way, and I do the eye movements, but some people use paddles, some people use other things, and that too stirs a lot of unconscious and subconscious things up. So you need to either know how to process it or be in therapy with someone that does know how to process it, because it can really stir up a lot of the dark waters. And I kind of think that's what they're talking about with the dark waters. Like, if you feel something holding you back from choosing the path that you want to choose right now, I would look into getting some way of processing that emotion or what you feel like is holding you back. Okay, that is all. I very much thank you. Also, Aphrodite's been coming through a lot. If you feel like you want to build a love altar to Aphrodite, a love altar for yourself or your inner child, I think that's a really beautiful thing to do right now, and to explore just being more comfortable every single day and look for things that will support that growth. All right, bye for now.